That's what we're doing. All right. I think we're good to go. All right, sounds good. Yeah, I don't think anybody else saw my post in Discord, so they just get to live with never knowing. And really, there's no reason for me to wear my headset because I can't hear anything. Yo, chat, I think we're just gonna take the headset off. Maybe that's the big brain move. I don't know. I'm not, but my headset's gonna turn off because I won't have audio from anything. Let them ears be free, dude. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna let this hang out over here. I don't need it. I'm talking to nothingness. The void is what I'm talking to right now. Dude, my hair is crazy. Maybe I should have kept the headset on. That was the reason to keep it. Oh my goodness. Kenny's coming in with the raid party of 8 people. Welcome, welcome. How is everybody doing? Let's go. Let's go. All right. So here's the deal. Oh, and Kenny hits us with the 14-month sub. Let's go. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. All right, so let's get down to some business, chat. Let's get down to some business before I start the podcast. 1. Tomorrow's my birthday, so we're doing the birthday stream Monday. It's been the executive decision. I was going to do it tonight, but I need to record the podcast. I was going to do it tomorrow, but my wife works a 13-hour shift. I want to be able to eat dinner with her, not having to rush into a stream or anything. So Monday night, birthday stream, fun times. There'll definitely be Smite with fun sub goal stuff if you want to see that. I think like I have like King Arthur carry or King Arthur. The only way I can move is through abilities and autos. Me playing Cthulhu because that's just terrible in general. There's like God Request with builds. Hunter, any hunter, all bows. Like all the bow items and stuff like that. So there's a few things like that. I think we're also going to try to get in some Among Us or some type of party game, maybe Project Winter, Among Us, or that new like duck game that's like Among Us. I don't know. We'll figure that out. That game's free, so we'll figure out some type of party game, Smite, and then if we reach, there'll be a sub goal for Phasmophobia in VR, because I imagine that will be funny for some people to watch. Also, thanks, Lantern. How that goes on Arthur movement abilities only. Can I play the... Yes, 100%. If you're new around here, I am Blaise, and my podcast, Up Your Experiences, is a weekly podcast. Usually I have a co-host that is Suave, but Suave is not here this weekend, so Chat's my co-host tonight. I'm going to boot up recording here in a minute. But if you have any questions, I have a random question of the week. But the random questions of the week are going to be you all's questions today. So that'll make things a little bit more interesting. But let's move on. I'm going to go ahead and start chat. I'm going to give a countdown because I'm used to doing it. That'd be that. Anyways. Moving on. After this, how you feel as a 21, 22 Vikings? Yo, you save that for the random question of the week, and I'll get back to you. Gosh darn it. After the podcast is over, we're going to hit up either some ranked Smite or some scavengers, I think. Maybe something else. But let's get this thing rolling. Let me make sure. So here's, I need y'all to see this real quick. Hold on. Let me close that out. How about... Okay, so I want y'all to know this is what I do every single week. Is I click this. I always 3, 2, 1. All right, we're recording, and it brings me to this. And I always have to type in the name of the episode, and I screw it up every single week. Every week. I just wanted to share that with y'all. That's a little behind the scenes thing. So this is... Hold on. What episode number is this? 8. And literally every day. Every single time that we go to record the podcast, I do the 3, 2, 1, click that and see this. And like, oh, wait a minute. We're not talking yet, guys. We're not talking yet. That actually happened with Gilly's episode last week. So little fun behind the scenes bit there. Also, if you ever want to do any audio recording, Clean Feed is what I use to record our podcast now. And it cuts a lot of audio out for you. It's pretty sick. It actually like cleans it up and you don't have to worry about editing as much. So anyways, moving on. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of UpUrXP podcast. I'm your host, BlaiseMcBaine. And today we have the mute chat with me. This is live at twitch.tv/Blaise. Imagine I messed that all up. Twitch.tv/BlaiseMcBaine. That was a really good take. I'm not editing that out. That is staying. And I'm going to continue to record the podcast every weekend on the channel. If you want to go check out the Twitter, it's at UpUrXP. And you can see there when we're going to go live and record. We've been generally recording on Saturdays. So if you want to check that out, we'll be over on my channel recording that every week. So the plan for today is I'm going to give you all a little bit of a rundown. We're going to do our normal stuff, talk about games of the week. I have a spicy topic of the week. Maybe not. I don't know. Had some stuff happen this week. So that led into my topic of the week. And then we're going to take random questions from chat. That is our random question of the week segment. It's kind of like a Q&A, but it's only me. So eventually we'll do a Q&A episode. Maybe that'll be episode 10 or 15 or something like that. But we'll figure it out. And Vio is now realizing in my chat that I have a link to my own Twitter, but not the podcast. And that's because I keep wanting to do that, but keep forgetting. So tonight I will get that done. But let's get into some games of the week. So last week we obviously recorded with Gilly, and immediately after the episode ended, we hit some queues with me, Suave, and Gilly. And I continued playing Horus, playing him in support and in solo, and he is as fun as he ever has been. I wish he was better and fit into meta right now, but he isn't, unfortunately. But I love Horus. If you have not played Horus, you need to go do it. If you're not playing Horus, like, go try him out. I've had a bunch of fun builds this week. I'll probably talk about some of them, but ton of fun. I even played like Horus carry at one point. It's been a lot of fun, like working on getting him to diamond, especially with triple worshippers this weekend. Along with that, I had a solo game. The solo game that I was on Horus, I was against a Guan Yu and I ruined that man's life. I think he had his Baka come over and try to gank me, and I killed both of them at some point. His soul came over to kill me. Like, I felt bad for that guy. He got bodied in lane for ever and a day. Along with that, I went into Monday where I hit the rank queue some more. I got to play mid, which is not my preferred role, obviously, but that's okay. I was like, you know what? I'm going to lock in Yanis. I can't even say that I've ever played Yanis at all in Conquest, maybe once. But my support comes chugging down mid lane. They have 3 people chasing them. I was like, I got this. And I portaled all 3 people and peeled for my support. That kept happening. And along with that, I had gotten the no scope achievement, which apparently I didn't have. I hit an ult from literally across the map onto somebody. I think I hit 2 or 3 people, and it was pretty sick. Unfortunately, none of them died. After that, I queued up another game, and I got Mulan, and I played Mulan support in a ranked game and absolutely dominated the enemy team. And then I played King Arthur carry, thanks to Embright, which was actually a lot of fun. I actually almost got a solo 1v1 kill against Izanami, but then she ran away. That game ended up being a surrender, unfortunately, but King Arthur carry might be the new thing to try out. And then I tried out Neath because that was another god request, and Neath is as boring as ever. Then we finally got to practice night with the team. So your Primer Pals is officially in Albion Giants League. We're playing in the Vikings division. There was a team that dropped out, so we're taking place of them. And we ran a bunch of different stuff and tried some things out. I tried out Oleron the first game, and Oleron's okay right now. I think, and I'm going to talk about some patch stuff through the episode, I think he is going to feel better with some of the changes coming down the line. And we kind of already had an idea that magical ADCs were going to be kind of coming back, at least being a little bit more relevant. If crit got nerfed and or they got buffed. And it turned out that the Spear of the Magus is leading into change, with lifesteal is leading into some other things. I played some Rama, and I had a blast that game. Build played Set into Anubis, and I don't think I've ever seen this in Conquest from a solo laner, but their Anubis went 0-17-2. Build just literally ruined that man's life. And I remember during the game, he's like, I'm not learning anything from this. And I was like, well, we gotta be learning something, right? And I look over and I see the screen at the end of the game. I was like, oh, no, I get what he means now. I understand. I played Danza with Kenny on Athena. And then Suave was on Poseidon, Bill was on Chalk, Gactyl was on Neja. We had Fire Giant before 15 minutes. And then we won the game at 17:32. That game was we just ran it down. If you haven't played Danza Athena duo lane, tons of fun, because sorry, my mind just blanked. The Danza taunt isn't on DR, so you can actually double taunt people, which is pretty sick. Then I decided to run Scotty because I just like Scotty. Unfortunately, it just didn't really go that well because I kept getting dove on cooldown by the enemy team. And then after that, I played Scavengers because the update came out where they wiped accounts. And I played with Boss. We made it to the ship one time, but holy does the game feel better. I don't know how many games Boss and I specifically have queued, but the game just feels way better. We played with Bats today, and we were honestly destroying people. There was a time, I think we had 3 fights against 3 different teams in under 5 minutes, and we wiped all 3 teams. There is nothing better than having solid comms that leads to solid fights that leads to dubs. Unfortunately, we didn't make it to the ship one time because we ended up getting like third partied right at the end of a fight or something like that and dying. But the game just feels so much better. If you have not checked out Scavengers, you definitely should. The game just keeps getting better. I'm going to talk about some more stuff with that today, from today's games after I talk about some other stuff. But there's no monetization right now, which is wild to me. So they've released an early access game with no monetization. So there's skins and stuff that you can earn from playing the game, but that's the only way to earn those credits. There's no way to buy, which is it's just crazy to me. I haven't seen a game do that with early access, and it's just really cool to see a game go that route, and it's different. I'm gonna come back and talk about Scavengers in a second. I have some other fun Smite games to talk about, along with a Wild Rift game as well. As I said, I played a lot of Horus. I did an arena game with Boss, who was on Cherno, and Boss was with us, and we had a Cherno that went 0-0-18. He built like a hunter. Like, he had crit in the whole 9, and he just could not get a kill to save his life. But I did War Flag into Warrior Boots, Relic Dagger, and then I tried out like Shogun's Mystical Mail. I forgot what the last item was at this point, but like that build felt really good. We then queued up some Siege because it was me, Boss, Bill, and Vio, and we ran the same comp back. I think it was Horus, Yanis, another Hell. Who was the other one that I can't remember off the top of my head right now? Nope, I don't remember. But we ran that like multiple games in a row and just had a ton of fun. We even actually went over to Omnipotence and played it there as well. Our last game was against some like meta mode of the day gamers, and that felt bad, but it's all good. Which leads into today. Today, a bunch of stuff went on. Scavengers had a event that the cap of the event was 5,000 people on a single map. And I think the most I got up to at one point was like 4,200 or so. I have some screenshots I'm going to share on Twitter. I posted them earlier, but for some reason they didn't actually post. So after I get done with the podcast tonight, I am going to post them there. But it was just wild having 4,200 people play pretty seamlessly. I think one time the servers went down and we had some issues, but overall, it was a pretty seamless experience. There was like this kind of like race type event, and then there was one where they just dropped mobs down from the sky, and there was like barely any lag. It was absolutely insane to be a part of. And then at one point they gave us weapons to fight mobs with after they doubled their health, and I forgot what else they did. But it was a fun time. It was like a 45-minute live event with devs in the client talking to us and answering Discord questions and things like that. Really, really cool. Like, I cannot praise the Scavengers team enough for how well they've done with this game and how it's launched. It makes me excited for it because, like I said, there hasn't been a way for them to really make money off of people yet, and they're getting that much people involved and doing these events like this while making no money off the consumer. I honestly don't know how they do it. Along with that, we played in the Lermy Wormy tournament today, and it was me, Sir Boss a lot, aka Boss, Guile Smitey from Split Push. If you ever listen to Split Push podcast a while back, he was part of that. Gactyl, who's on the team with me, and then Kenny, who's on the team with me, your primer pals. But our team name today, originally we had a different name, and I changed it to Bill or Liane's Children, aka Bill, and we always laugh about how we'll see people take screenshots with their phone of like the Smite screen, and obviously that's sometimes how console players like screen cap, but it's always like in this weird way where you can't see the stats. So after we won game 1, I sent pictures to Bill that way. It was really funny. Our first game, we absolutely dominated the competition. Like, it wasn't even funny. I caught an Ao Kuang in the jungle while I was making a rotation to mid for a fight right at I think like 3 minutes into the game, and just destroyed him. And it was just snowball after that occurred. Unfortunately, the next game we went against a team that was drastically better than us, unfortunately, and they did a 5-man red invade at the beginning of the game and got 2 kills off of it, and I think that just threw us off. Not that we couldn't recover from that, but the comms were off, feeling was off, rotations were off, everything just got thrown off from that. So it was unfortunate, but we had a good time. Definitely cannot complain there. And that kind of wraps up the games of the week. Like I said, there was a good bit of Smite this week because I was practicing. I thought we were going to be in AGL this week, but it got moved to next week, which is okay. And then I played a bunch of Scavengers. Oh, I forgot my Wild Rift game. I went to go play Wild Rift because I've been wanting to get back into that, and I've been playing it here and there, and they've been having some weird server issues. So hopefully Wild Rift will be coming back soon, but for now, I might hold off on that. I am going to probably be talking about Final Fantasy VII if I get back into that, especially with the DLC coming out for it. And my wife got me Biomutant for my birthday, so you might be hearing something about Biomutant, which I'm pretty excited to play over the next coming weeks. So that's it for the games of the week. Nothing too crazy. I think that covered everything. Chat didn't remind me of anything that I forgot, so I think that covers it. On top of that, so our topic of the week is kind of a strange one, but it's based off something I encountered yesterday, and I think this is something that needs to be like a public service announcement, and that is how to talk to people. And maybe this will help you in real life. Who am I to say? I have no idea. Maybe it won't, maybe it will, but I am a person that struggles with being talked down to. I don't do well with that. I don't do well with being treated like I'm stupid. Like, it tilts me off the face of the planet. Like, I just cannot do it. And I kind of live by a precedence of like, everybody gets one. So, I'll let it slide one time. You say some crazy stuff to me like that once, I'll be like, hey, I'll literally say that's your one time. I do not deal with it. And I think this is something that needs to be brought about, and the reason I'm talking about it today is, like I said, something happened yesterday, and I was in a conversation that was a conversation on my behalf and a belittling on the other person's behalf. And I'm not about that. I'm also not about it when people that originally had my back no longer have my back. So I think, without going too much into that situation, what I want to mention is the fact that no one reminded me my music was on, and music was on the whole entire podcast for people that are watching the VOD. Hopefully that does not appear on the recording, because if it does, I'm going to be sad. Sorry, chat. I just got completely detoured. Why, y'all got to tell me that the music's on if we're on stream. Oh, man. All right, move back to my topic. Oh, no. I think it's important to realize, and I think it's hard as, when we're gaming, we're in Discord, and hold on, chat's like, I thought it was part of it. I have no idea what's being played right now. I can't hear it. The headphones are off, chat. The headphones are off. For the people listening, I'm sorry for this detour. At least you didn't have to hear the music the whole time, I hope. If so, maybe I'll have to re-record. I don't know. Maybe I'll just roll with it. Kenny goes, Blaise, he had music on. So back to the topic. Sorry for a little detour there. I think, as gamers, and per se, or as, people that use Discord, basically, like, we use a lot of text chat, and even sometimes, like, in voice calls, when you're talking to somebody, you have to think about how what you're typing can be perceived, and I think that's harder for some people than it is for others. And it's a hard thing to understand. Sometimes, like, you have to think about, hey, the way this gets read could be taken this way. And that is something that's very difficult to do sometimes. But I think you got to think about how you talk to people in real life. And if you're going to say something that you would not say to something in real life, what makes it okay to say it because it's on Discord with a magical screen in front of you? Now, I know that's a crazy thing to say, but, like, I try to treat people the same way on Discord or TeamSpeak or whatever you're using as I do in real life. I don't see the reason to change that. I'm not going to talk to anybody any differently because there's a screen in front of me. I'm not going to talk to anybody differently because they're older than me, younger than me, more educated, less educated. Like, I'm not going to start treating people differently because of that. It doesn't matter. But I feel like some people, they get behind a keyboard and they think they can say whatever they want without consequence. And that's a problem. That has consequences that they may never have to deal with or ever see, because some people mentally don't deal with that well. Especially when you're doing something to help somebody out and you're trying to explain something. There's no reason for it ever to turn past a conversation or a debate. And when I use the word debate, I mean, like, you're logically talking about something back and forth with points that are going back and forth without getting personal or calling somebody stupid or an idiot or worse. If you've been a part of, like, when I'm on stream, I have people in my conversations all the time, and you won't ever hear me cuss on stream. And you best believe sometimes I do off stream. Sometimes I do. But, like, I don't talk to anybody differently on stream or off stream, or if I saw them in person or on Discord. And I think that's something that I just wanted to bring up, is how to talk to people. I think you really need to think about, if you're one of those people, if you're like, man, I'm a dick, how can you fix that? How can you not be a dick? Because I've met those people in real life, right? And they're like, oh, well, he's super hard to get along with, he's super hard to talk to, or he's mean. And some people, you just got to get to know them. In text chat, that gets really hard. All right, so maybe if you're realizing things are going badly, or you might be affecting someone in a negative way, maybe go, hey, can we hop in a voice call and talk about this? Because I feel like what I'm typing here might get misconstrued. And if they say no, then that's okay. At least you tried. But I think that's one thing that as a gaming community that doesn't happen. Like, we don't filter in the fact that there are other people on the other side that have feelings too. Like, we know they're there, we know we're talking to them, but how they feel does not matter to us because we're not actually there. And that's a problem. And maybe I'm on a soapbox right now. Maybe nobody cares, but I do think it's something that comes up all too often. I've been around those people, and I do my best to not associate with those people after that. Like, I just don't want to deal with it. I live, like I said, on the process of like everybody gets one. Like, you did it once, cool. I'll live with that. You do it again. Like, dude, it's a video game. We're on here to have fun, not make people upset. Like, you have to remember at the end of the day, if you're getting on a video game to have fun and relax and hang out with other people, what do you think the other people are doing that you could possibly be being objectively mean to? And you know what? There might be the possibility that everybody that listens to that isn't the person I'm talking about. And if that's the case, awesome. Maybe you can help some of those people that are. If you are that person, if you ever want to talk, hit me up. I will happily talk to you. Because I think it's a conversation to be had. Like, I would love to invite someone on that's an absolute jerk and be like, I want your take on why you do this. But at the same time, do I want to talk with that person and bring that negativity in? Not necessarily. I don't even consider people that rage at themselves in the same category as people that have that conversation. So I know that's a little bit different than our normal topics of the week, but it's something I want to touch base on. I think we really need to work on how we talk to one another. Just because we're not personally there doesn't mean it's any different than what's happening in real life. I think that needs to be taken into consideration. I bring that up with my students all the time. Like, look, you don't know what's going on in someone's life. I've had students in the past, make a joke that, if I was a person that took offense to it, like, it made me really upset because of something I had going on in real life, but they don't know that. They're kids. And it's the same idea that happens here with the disconnect of it being through text or through a computer, a phone, and there's just not that same connection. But I'll hop off the soapbox or whatever. I just thought it was something to bring up because, I think it's important to talk about. I think it's important to address the fact that we don't have to put up with that, and we can do something to change it, I guess is what I'm getting at. Like, we don't have to stand idle and like go, man, yeah, let's let that person talk to people that way and make them feel like garbage. Like, we're perfectly capable of talking to and saying stuff as well. I'll be honest, as a side note, when I was younger, I used to rage. I used to hard rage when I played games. Like, bad. And not at other people. I was never at any point like raging at somebody else. It was always at myself. But that's not healthy. And I changed. I was like, hey, I remember I told my wife, and I think maybe it's before we got married. I said, I got to change this. Like, yeah, it can be funny sometimes, but like, you don't want to listen to this. I don't want to listen to this either. And neither is the person that I'm playing games with. And I decided to say, you know what? I'm going to take the silver lining out of everything. So no matter what happens here that's bad or I can't fix, I'm going to look and say, there's always something I can learn or gain or do better next time. That's something I'm going to do. And hold on one second. Vio said, how do you try to bring up things about text and not conveying the same tone as using voice? Which is why a big reason why I use the little guys. They can help show what I'm feeling what I say. Exactly, Vio. Exactly. If you're listening and you haven't seen Vio in text chat, he has like little guys that express emotion to go with what he puts in text. And that's a good point. And that could help. I mean, that at least lets people know, hey, that's the emotion or idea that goes with it. But I do think it's important. Like, how to talk to people is important. And like I said, if you're ever like, man, I need to talk to somebody. I feel like I'm being a jerk, or I want to talk to somebody because someone was a jerk to me. Like, hit me up. I'm always available to talk. Always. I'll figure it out. Even if I hop on, you might hear Logan in the background, but I'll hop into a Discord call and be around to chill and talk to. Because there's no reason to feel like garbage. Because someone else decided that they wanted to, get on their high horse that day. That's it. I'm going to move off the serious tone. I'm going to hop back over, and I'm going to do two things. I did this a little bit out of order than I wanted to because I didn't put this in the show notes, and that's why. I want to talk about the Smite update that got announced this week real quick. And we got bonus balance, and we got the next big patch. They put out a bunch of new skins. I didn't get to see the Guan Yu, Kronos, Kabrakan, or Sobek skins in the patch show, but the Kabrakan card, it looks really, really good. I'm curious what the Guan Yu one looks like in game. We are seeing that they're starting to nerf crit. I just don't think what they're doing is enough. But you know what? We'll see. I do have a hot take, and this was something brought to me. I'm not going to take full credit for this. I am going to give Kenny credit because I did not see it in the patch notes when I originally skimmed through. But I think boots are going away at mid-season patch. I think in Smite, boots are gone. So there's that. Other than that, we've seen a bunch of nerfs to Ymir, on her, Heimdall, Scylla, Sobek, King Arthur, Gilgamesh, Persephone, Athena, all got nerfs in the bonus patch. And then the big patch, we're getting the new Arthurian god, Morgan Le Fay. And she looks sick. She's a mage. If you want to read about her abilities, go check that out. They all look super dope. I think she's going to be fun. From what I've seen on PTS, she looks really, really good. There's a new Ratasker skin. I didn't get to see it in game, but the card art looks super sick. There's T-Rex, which I think will be funny because he's faking to be a kid's T-Rex at a party in a costume, which is funny. The Hachiman skin looks cool. The Izanami skin looks cool. President Cthulhu looks pretty sick. There's new elbow drop Kamazots. And then we got the new Neja and the Guardian Ymir skin. I really like the Guardian skins. We've seen it with Jing Chen and now with Ymir, where these geckos have made mechs of sorts to take over, or nature. I don't know, nature mech isn't the right word. They're because they're all nature based. What would be the word for that? Construct. They made a construct to live in. They're also bringing back classic Joust as a map. We've seen the masks being redone, and we see a bunch of buffs to some rings, which makes me think they're trying to bring mage ADCs back. We see an Al Poish buff, an Artemis buff, and guess what? A Horus buff. And then Hoi, Izanami, Kumba's getting some buffs. I mean, overall, it looks like a good set of patches. Some confusing things, but I'm pretty excited about it. And that's it. That's all I wanted to touch on. I want to make that quick with the patch note stuff. I didn't want to spend too much time then. Why are they getting rid of boots? How do we know? Okay, so back, I just exited out. All right. For listeners, you are going to hear some clicks, and I apologize. But in the bonus ballots, they mention with the tank boots, and I missed this when I really originally read through, but they say, while we have future plans for boots in general, in the next pack mid-season, we did not want to tone down one of its strong passive benefits for CCR. They're talking about reinforced boots. I have a feeling something's happening with boots. I think they might be going away. I think it gives an extra. So let's say they just give everybody the 18% movement speed at the beginning of the game. Get rid of boots and open up a whole item slot at the beginning where you don't have to buy boots. I think that could be interesting. I don't know if that's what they're going to do. Maybe they're going to make it. I've mentioned having actives on boots. I just don't think they can do that though. But I know a lot of people have talked about getting rid of beads Aegis and making them into their own thing so that we could buy 2 other relics, or getting rid of beads as a relic and having it as an automated thing that's already there. But I do think that we could see boots going away, but we'll just have to see. But anyway, this moves on to our random question of the week, and our random question of the week is coming from chat. So chat, if you have questions, now is the time. I know Kenny asked one earlier about the Minnesota Vikings. How do you feel as a 21 and 22 Vikings fan? Well, you know, maybe this year will be better. That's how I feel. I mean, like, it's better than we were before, but meh. I'd like to see us do well. If Kirk Cousins could start off the beginning of the season well and not wait till halfway through the season, that'd be kind of sick. But we also need our defense to get their lives together as well, which I think will happen this season. We won't be playing like a bunch of first and second year players throughout our whole entire defense with like 3 all-star players that all get hurt. So I think that'll actually help out a bunch. So right now it feels pretty good. Could feel better. Maybe we'll make the playoffs this year and I'll feel really, really good. We'll see. I don't know. I haven't read anything about Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he's out of my division, so I don't have to worry about him anymore. And if that's the case, that would be sick. I could talk about that all day. You know who we need to get on here? We need to get Majin Boucher on here at some point to talk about like sports betting. All right, serious question now. This is from Lantern. Something I've been asking a lot is why is Runeforge Hammer why is Runeforge Hammer being slept on? Dude, I don't know. I actually what's crazy is I talked about this the other night when I was playing Scotty. Like that item slaps. It's so good. Like I think I bought Runeforge with crit and oh my god, it just hurts. Like Runeforge on Scotty, on AMC, anybody that has like some type of like small CC, maybe that's not the right word. Like a slow, right? Like that item's like busted. Like there's no reason not to buy it. It has health. It does extra damage. Oh my, dude, don't get me started. I love Runeforge. I think they're gonna have to buff it though. I do. All right. Boss asks, how do you think Smite will do as a whole moving on from the season? Will it die or will it just get bigger? I think this season has been probably the best season of Smite since I've been playing. Like I think their balance patches have been better. I think they've been taking more community feedback into account. Beyond crit meta, like crit meta needs to go across the board. It's limiting hunters too much and solo laners too much. I think once we get through that part of it, which has been like a month and a half now, once we get through that, I think we'll be fine. But I think overall it's done better, and I think the game just continues to grow. So we do have some things that need to happen for the game to continue to grow even bigger, in my opinion. But some of that needs to go with an update to the game. And I have always thought that when in high-res move things over to the Epic Game Store, that meant we would see Smite possibly move to a better engine. And by better engine, I mean a newer version of Unreal. And I think that is something that we could see in the future that would continue to help the game to grow bigger. I think if the game moves into another engine, like a newer Unreal engine, that could help the game drastically. That kind of goes to that Smite 2 concept that people talk about, but I could definitely see that happening. And the argument of, it won't run on all the consoles is garbage because Fortnite runs on everything, and Fortnite's in like Unreal 4 now. It might be an Unreal 5. They've updated it once or twice. I don't know. I'd have to go look. But Fortnite runs on everything. It ran on phones and it runs on the Switch. I mean, it literally runs on everything. So there's that. Get it out of here. What are your favorite top shelf drinks? Or else, what would be one drink you could have for the rest of your life? As an alcoholic drinks, Vio? Or just drinks in general? That's my question back, so I make sure I answer this correctly. I drink water all the time, always. And then I love coffee. Coffee is really good. Mochas and French press. And I just got my wife bought me what is it called? Like a drip coffee maker for my birthday. And that's pretty sick because it takes out the time of using a French press. I mean, that was kind of cool. So as far as alcoholic beverages, I don't drink beer. I've tried several different beers throughout my life, and the issue I have there is where I grew up, they grew hops, and I cannot get the smell or taste of hops out of my I can drink any beer and all I taste is hops. And I can't. Now, when I was in Japan, I had a bunch of different like plum wines, and I have not been able to find the same type of one in the US, and they were all delicious. I do get a Fuji apple sake that I could find. I could go and find like a picture of it that I really, really like. Fuji apple sake is absolutely delicious. It, especially if you chill it like really cold, it tastes like Fuji apples. And the only thing you taste sake wise is like a little bit in the aftertaste. It is delicious. My friend's restaurant sells it, and I used to go and get some. They used to sell it at World Market where I was at in Atlanta. You get them for like $10, and like they're in a bottle like this. They're pretty sick. Beyond that, what else? I don't know, man. I like mimosas and corks, or what is it, screwdrivers. Those are pretty good. Orange juice and vodka, or orange juice and champagne. I'm about that life. There's a place in town called Beach Haven Winery, and they make a blackberry wine that is extremely good. I don't actually drink. I don't drink a lot of wine. I don't drink a lot in general, but blackberry wine, that slaps. That's really good. What do I think the best slept on god is right now? Well, after the game we played earlier, Loki, but no, I'm just kidding. Do you want specific roles, boss? Or do you want just in general? Because in Hunter, I think Medusa is being slept on big time right now. I think Medusa is like hard being slept on. I think she has everything you want in a Hunter, and she works anti-heal as well, which is good for like the Guan Yus and Afros and stuff. I don't know about, so in solo, I think Chalk's actually not in a terrible place, but his late game just sucks. Osiris is always really good too. For Guardians, actually no, I take that back. Horus, but that's a support. As a support, Horus, 100%. I think Horus just doesn't get picked. I don't even think in his current state he is bad. I think he is actually extremely good, and we just don't pick him, and I have no idea why. In jungle, I don't know about in jungle. Hunbats? I don't see a lot of Hunbats. And we should. I mean, Hunbats is good. He works really well in corridors, and like the new jungle has a ton of them. In mids, I have a hot take, E-set. I don't think we see a lot of E-set, and we should. There, I did it by role instead. But that kind of covers each role. I think Medusa and Horus are probably the most slept on gods, though. Medusa, literally, her kit is insane, and it works well as ability or crit right now, like auto attack or ability. Like, she works well into both. In Horus, you can literally transport your team far across the map. Yeah, E-set you have to play really well, but I think a good E-set goes a long way. She has a silence that with the shield. Her ult is absolutely insane for objectives to secure and just for team fights. She has really good self-peel and movement ability. I think she's really good. I don't see any more questions in chat. I'm going to wait just a second, but we are going to go ahead and I'll start doing my thanks for a bit. Actually, I got a public service announcement. If you want to come hang out on Monday night, June 1st, I'm going to do my birthday stream. My birthday is actually tomorrow, May 30th. Sorry, I lied. That's May 31st. Counting's hard. May 31st, I'm going to do my birthday stream because that's when it worked out best schedule-wise to make sure I could get you guys a podcast and stuff, along with being able to chill with my wife tomorrow and then stream on Monday. So birthday stream with sub goals and all that will be on Monday night here on my channel. The latest we'll be starting is 10 EST. We'll hopefully be starting earlier than that. I'm shooting for like 8 or 9 EST if I can, but we'll see how that goes. You can check it out on Twitter at BlaiseMcBaine. and you'll find out more information there. Another real question is, why does Liane hate bacon? Well, he doesn't, Kenny. You're just spreading false propaganda, and that's okay. I support you. How can one hate bacon? You can't. Look, man, I eat bacon sandwiches. Literally, toast, mayonnaise, bacon, toast with mayonnaise on it. Boom, together, eat it. Not BLT, bacon only. It's delicious. It's delicious. Along with that, I have some shout outs this week. I want to shout out everybody in the community that's just been coming to hang out and do questions with us tonight, and just been chilling in chat, chilling with viewer games, and just other games in general. It's been nice having people to play with, not solo queuing. Also want to give a shout out to Gilly for the logo and the help with that. He is going to help put together some other stuff with logos. I want to shout out the person that did my artwork. I'll put their stuff out on Twitter for the emotes. We have a new emote coming on for the birthday stream. And then shout out to Real Witching Hours. That's with Sir Ember and crew. They do YouTube videos and they have Twitch streams. I need to get the schedule for them so I can post that for you guys. Go check them out. Give them follows. Go subscribe to their YouTube channel. They put out a bunch of great work. And that's it. I hope you all have a good one. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye. All right. Recording is done for the podcast. What do you say? Dude, have you tried a bit to replace the tomato with avocado? Yes. So at Panera, they used... I'm done recording. I should have kept this on there. At Panera, they used to have a turkey avocado bacon sandwich, and holy, that slapped, dude. It was so good. 100% delicious. You know what I left out, chat, and I'm actually mad? I left out the worst and best part of my week. I'm actually upset. I almost want to go back and add it onto the recording. I'm thinking about saying, wait, I'm back. Wait, should I go back, chat? Should I go, wait, I'm back? All right, vote. Get a poll going in the chat, Kenny. Should I go back and add on to the episode? All right, Kenny says yes. Lantern says yes. What does Vio say? Scuffed cast, let's go. All right, let's do it. Add it on. All right. I lied. I'm back. I said bye, but I'm back in. I forgot to talk about the best and worst part of my week. So let's start with the worst part of my week. The worst part of my week is yesterday, and I didn't think I was going to be able to record today because I had a lot of issues. There was a random power outage that literally lasted like half a second that shut off my PC during an update and messed up everything on my PC. And I had to reset my entire PC. And while I was doing this, I bought the MacBook Air I've been using from work because they sell them to us at every like 3 to 4 years. They give us new equipment and they sell us the old stuff. And I'm like factory resetting that. I erase everything. And now it doesn't work. I can't reinstall the OS on it. Nothing will work. I have the PC working, obviously, because I was able to stream and get everything going today. But the laptop... No idea how to fix it right now, and I'm going to spend my time doing that. But that was literally hours upon hours yesterday, and I was sitting around going, I will literally record the podcast on my phone if I have to. Like, I will figure this out, because that's where we're at. And the best part of my week is I went to, I think I mentioned before, I'm a high school math teacher. I also teach college courses, along with I coach track and cross country. Apparently now I am also a tutor, which I used to do, and a private coach, but that's neither here nor there. Yesterday was our graduation for the year 2021, and I was invited by several of the students to go because faculty wasn't able to go this year unless we got invited. And it was just really nice. During one of the speeches, one of them talked about every single teacher they'd had through the high school experience, and having a student tell you that the one thing that you did well was that you cared, meant a lot. And then along with that, we had a student yesterday that, I mean, he did something that I don't know I could do. Like I actually shed a tear yesterday, and I don't cry at all. But shout outs to him. Like, he came out in front of everybody, and I think a lot of people already knew, and I don't know if his parents did, but I think it takes a lot to do what he did and like stand there in front of hundreds of people and say, I haven't liked myself most of my life. I've considered harming myself. I've had suicidal ideations, but I can stand here today and say I'm proud to be a 17-year-old gay man. I think that takes a lot, and I want to shout out that bravery. That's something I forgot to do in my shout outs, and I realized after I got done recording. And I there is no way that person listens to this, but I just want to shout that out because it takes a lot of courage to stand up there and do that in front of hundreds of people. And especially when I live in the South, that is a thing I'm not going to get into, but I think that's worthy of shouting out. The fearlessness to stand up in front of people and do that, and not know if they're going to clap afterwards or it's going to get worse or your family's going to stay or they're going to go. It was awesome to see. And I want to shout that out, especially after going over how to talk to people, because I think that's important. I do. And those two things weren't even related at all. So I'll leave you with that, chat. Be yourself. Be unapologetically yourself. And don't let anybody tell you can't be you, because the one thing you have is yourself and your own thoughts. And you can choose to do with those what you like. And that got way more serious than I expected, but I appreciate if you've listened to this point after I said bye, coming back and listening a little bit longer, and I will catch y'all next week. Bye.